So chances are that if you're interested in the Pebble Time Steel, this guy right here, then you have probably seen videos of it before. I mean, it's been out there for months, there are hundreds of reviews of it, so instead of doing the same old thing again and just another review, I'll focus on how well it holds up against the test of time. I'm Martin from Tech Altar, welcome to the new year, let's find out. So by now, I assume that you know that the Pebble Time Steel is a total unicorn among smartwatches and tries to do basically everything differently than all the other smartwatches out there. It has a color e-paper display, buttons instead of a touchscreen, 10 days of promised battery life, it's water resistant for up to 30 meters, and instead of running Android Wear, it comes with Pebble OS 3. Whenever you're watching this. And just like any product that tries to be a unicorn, you'll either love it or scratch your head wondering why people like me backed the project with over 20 million USD on Kickstarter. So the Pebble Time Steel is all about focus. Unlike the competitors that try to be sort of mini computers on your wrist and also have a much more robust set of features, this one only really tries to do three things: to show you the time, your timeline, and your notifications. And also as an added bonus, it wants to last really long doing that. And everything else is kind of secondary, but at those four things, it's really good. For telling the time, it might still be the most practical smartwatch out there, simply because the display here is always on and perfectly visible in sunlight, which is not a bad thing for a gadget that's, a watch after all. The backlight for when you're in the dark still makes the screen look somewhat washed out, but works reliably at least. There are also a ton of watch faces, with new ones coming in all the time, like a whole collection for the Star Wars movies, so displaying time won't ever be boring. Your timeline also gets displayed front and center with a Pebble interface that shows you upcoming stuff like weather forecasts and calendar appointments when you go down, and things from the past like even more calendar appointments when you go up. And over time, this too has only gotten better. It looks as good as ever, with adorable animations everywhere that really give the Pebble its unique character. Third on my list of key features was notifications, and here nothing much has changed over time, though that's kind of okay, as I never had any real complaints anyway. The Bluetooth connection is strong, messages arrive basically instantly, and the vibrating engine is maybe a bit too aggressive, but gets the job done well enough. You can also quickly reply to some of them with your voice or with preset responses, both of which work pretty well. Interestingly, while support for Chinese characters has been added, praise the maker, and it works perfectly, there is still no support for some special characters. Then again, I guess that's not something you'll encounter very often. Battery life is one of the key differentiators of the Pebble Time Steel, and the watch offers a whopping 10 days of it here. With my average routine of just checking time and notifications, I sometimes got even more than that. And after 3 months, I got so used to not charging my watch that I get surprised every time I have to. Even after the regular 10 days, I get on average an extra 3 days of a sort of half sleep mode, where the watch still shows me the time and buzzes for alarms. Fun fact, this low energy mode lasts 3 times as long as most competitors do on a full charge. So yeah, there really hasn't been any serious competition for the Time Steel on the battery front in this time. So the main selling points of this watch are still unmatched and have only gotten better over time with regular updates, new third-party apps, and thousands of great watch faces. And all the other features are just as unremarkable as they were before too. The build quality is decent. The combination of gently curved glass and the stainless steel actually feels and looks much better in real life than on camera, but it's also not mind-blowing, and I managed to get multiple little scratches on the protruding Gorilla Glass surface too. The bands also looked great when I got them, but then this happened. Of course, I would have simply cut off the fluff a long time ago, if I hadn't been waiting for this review to show it to you guys, but it's here and it's just not very nice. They're easily replaced to third-party solutions, but then again, the bands are just okay. Fitness tracking on Pebble watches always felt like an afterthought to me, and that too continues here. Sure, you can track your step count and sleep duration with a built-in accelerometer, and Pebble just released their all-new app called Health, which actually improves the situation a lot, as it does a surprisingly good job at tracking and displaying a bit of information to you on the fly, but I have the impression that anyone who's more serious about working out would rather choose a fitness tracker with more features, like a heart rate monitor. The watch is also waterproof for up to 30 meters, but I feel uncomfortable wearing it with a leather or a metal strap even to a shower, let alone going for a swim with it. And the last thing that keeps me from being perfectly happy is the charging cable. By itself, it's actually pretty good. It works with magnets, charges the watch in half an hour or so, it feels sturdy, doesn't tangle, and is even long enough. The problem? It's probably the only cable you or anyone you know owns that can charge your watch. So if you break it or lose it, you'll have to buy a new one. Depending on where you live, that might or might not be an issue for you, but it's definitely not ideal. So to sum it up, there is a main theme with this watch, and it's focus, as I said in the beginning of this video. It wants to have great battery life, show you the time, your timeline, and notifications. And everything else is just secondary and okay. And you know what? I think for me, personally, that is all I want from a smartwatch. There are games on the Pebble, but I don't like playing on a tiny screen. Same for ordering pizza or any of the other stuff that people try to cram into smartwatches. I'd just rather do those things on my phone. Instead, the Pebble just lets me not pick up my phone for every single notification I get and every time I want to check my time or my schedule. It was announced 9 months ago and it has been on the market for 3 months already, so it kind of blows my mind that no other smartwatch maker got even close to beating Pebble at these core functions. And the Time Steel is just as relevant as it was when it came out. That means if you like the idea of a smartwatch with an e-paper display, 10 days of battery life, and very limited functionality, then it's still your only option, and it's better than ever, and I can wholeheartedly recommend it to you. But if it never really appealed to you to begin with, then not enough has changed to convince you. Thank you very much for watching. I left a link to Amazon in the description below if you're interested in the watch. Also, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, like, subscribe, follow me on social media, and watch more Tech Altar in the future. It's good for you and me. Bye-bye.